So this session is called the Wild Frontier training session, and the setup first off is one cone every 10 steps for 50 steps. So every 10 steps you put one cone down for 50 steps, and then I tend to do 3 lines of cones 12 steps across. So you've got 50 out that way and every 12 steps going that way, so what's that, 36 steps going to the side, and so it becomes like a large rectangle. The overview of the session, it's quite a fun session this week. It's still high intensity, still makes people work hard, but it's got an element of competition. So we're working relays to start with, then we go into a bit of core and strength with some cardio, and then we go into some Tabata training, followed by finally a game. And then that's our sort of section of 3, and we do that over 3 times. So the way you start this session is you go into a normal warm-up for preferably 6 to 8 minutes, just starting off with some hamstring stretches, building the intensity, and it should last 10 minutes. Then circle the group up and introduce them to the session. Get them to introduce each other, tell each other what their names are, and so on. Then we're ready to go. I'd like you to really focus on getting these groups together and getting them working, motivating each other, talking each other up, knowing each other's name, and building that confidence within each group. So we work in groups of 3. Now, if you have, let's say 12, that works perfectly, but it may be that you have slightly less, in which case you might have to think laterally about where people sit. But what I'd like you to do is, first off, start with a sprint. So get people as a whole group, everybody, to run to the furthest line you can see and back in as hard as they can. As they come in, give them a number, 1 to, if you've got 12, 1 to 4, and then 1 to 4, and then 1 to 4. So they've all got 3 different groups of their level. Once they're in there are 4 different groups. This is hypothetically again that we're 12, but you could do this with 30 members for all it matters. I mean, it works really well with the bigger groups because everyone's there building up their own intensity and talking about winning. So you've got 3 different groups or 4 different groups of 3 people. That's the key, it's got to be 3 people. First person in the line on your shout goes first cone back in, second cone back in, third cone back in, fourth cone back in, fifth cone back in. But as soon as they hit the first cone, the second person can start running as fast as they possibly can. And as soon as the second person hits the second cone, the third person goes. And now it's down to the third person to go as quickly as they can through the whole set. When the whole group is back, so all 3 of them are back, the first person goes again. We do this twice, so 2 sets of as fast as they can through. And you very much explicitly say who the winning group is, and you congratulate them. The winning group, no, scrap that. Then we go into a strength set, so we're looking at upper body, core and legs. First person in their groups of 3 sprints to the end cone, so all of the first people sprint to the end cone and back in. Everyone else does press-ups. As soon as that first person's back in, the second person goes to the end cone and back in. All of them are still doing press-ups. Then the third person goes end cone and back in. All of them are still doing press-ups. So that's 1 set. Then you go into core exercises, so stomach exercises, sit-ups. First person goes to the end cone back in, other 2 are doing sit-ups, second person, and so on. And then we do the same with legs. And again, this is meant to be competitive. They're pushing each other, they're working each other, they're trying to be as quick and as fast as they possibly can. Then we go into, so we've done 3 different sets there. We've done the sprint, we've done the core, we've done the legs. We've still not had a break, we've still not had a drink. We now go into Tabata training. So this is 40 seconds of press-ups and 20 seconds of holding a bent arm press-up. Really challenging exercise. Then we go into a core set, so sit-ups, 40 seconds, holding a sit-up for 20 seconds. Then we go into a leg exercise, so maybe squats or squat jumps for 40 seconds and then holding a low skiing squat for 20 seconds. Then we go into a game. So the winning team on the previous sets of the shuttle runs then becomes the British Bulldog team. So they're the ones that are it, and everyone else lines up across the other line, and on your call of go, everyone else runs across, and the it group have to catch as many as they can. Anyone who escapes gets through the line, does 10 press-ups. Everyone else who was the it team go across and realign. You play that until they're finished. Quite a nice fun way to finish the set, and then they all paddle off and have a quick drink. Then you come back out, and this is the key. you've got the lines of 3 again lined up in the shuttle. So we were doing exactly what we did on the first set, completely replaying that now. So you've got the lines of 3 on the shuttle. The first person in the group now moves to the second position. The second person moves to the third, and the third one comes back to the front. So the first person now used to be the third person, and you do exactly the same. So you've got a new person at the back who's doing all of the work. And again, you make it competitive. They know what they're doing by the stage, and they're working hard. You then you do 2 sets of the shuttle run each. So a really good, challenging cardio set. Then you go into the speed with core, upper body and legs, and they can be different press-up exercises, different strength core exercises, and different leg exercises. Then you go into the Tabata training again, and then you go into British Bulldog again. So that's the second grid. Quick drink, back out, final set. This time we're doing the same shuttle run, but you've got the one person who hasn't been the person at the back, who's the main worker. Hopefully that's the first sprinter, the fastest person who's going to be at the sprint. You make this all that matters by this stage. This has got huge gravity attached to it. Then you go into the speed set with the upper body, core and legs. Then you go into the Tabata set again, and then finally we go into the game. And the game this time is going to be Treasure Island. So you've got 4 corners. Split the groups. Hopefully there's 4 groups, but if there's 8 groups, then 2 groups on each corner. And you say to the whole groups, as fast as you can, you've got to pick up as many cones as you possibly can. You can steal cones from other groups, other teams. The team with the most cones after 2 minutes wins, and that's it. That's the whole session. You bring them in, you tell them about the events coming up, you tell them about socials and dinner parties that are happening soon, and congratulate them all. Enjoy it. It's a fun session. If it's done well, they are absolutely buzzing by the end of it.